Scene 7. Pran Talk. I watch Pat sleeping on my lap. His breath is warm and rapid, probably because the alcohol is still in his blood. I sigh, hearing him mumble my name. The Pat I know is playful, a pain in the neck, always smiles and pretty chill. It's like the sun shines out of him. Even so, Pat is worrisome. He's not careful and never thinks anything through. Have fun first and fuck safety. Every incident affected me. For example, it's what happened just now. How many people would be so wasted that they got robbed and left in front of the convenience store? Worse, he was lying there until a dog licked his face, and I had to go to the trouble to pick him up in the middle of the night when I could have rested or worked on my project. Besides causing trouble, he's gotten more and more childish. I'm not sure anymore if we're enemies, friends, or have a father son relationship. I told him off every day so much that I couldn't create enough words to use. As time passed, I was sick of nagging about the same things since he wouldn't change anyway. The same goes for me. Despite how much I'm fed up with this, I still can't ignore him. Professor's loud claps from the front of the room and the sudden lit up room snapped me back to reality after an hour of the lecture about the below standard sanitary system. I rubbed my eyes and stretched to rid the stiffness from my body. I fell asleep by the time the birds were about to chirp last night and dragged myself to attend the class at 8. I took off later than usual, but busy looking for instant porridge in the cupboard and making lime juice for the guy on the couch. He'll have a terrible hangover when waking up. That's right, Pat slept on the couch. He didn't shower and I had no idea what was on his body. Do you think he'd be clean enough to get in my bed after a few wipes? I was kind enough to pick up Shabby to stuff it in his chest. The dirtiest thing I've ever touched is him. Will you eat first, Pran? The image in my head fades away as Wise voice brings me back. I turn to see him packing his stuff. Are you getting your project checked up today? Probably, but I'll complete the house plan at the library first. Then get it done last night. Okay, I'll accompany you. I don't think I'll get the assessment today though, not sure. What about Ken, the guys? He's gone with golf to wait in line for Sean Penn's assessment the moment class was over. Oh yeah? What's wrong? You look absent-minded today. Stressed out about the project? No, I didn't get enough sleep. I guess I'm sleepy. Why don't you go back to your place after the meal? You can get your project assessed tomorrow evening. It's alright. I can do it. You sure? Yeah. I nod and smile at him. Waya Korn is my best friend. We knew each other even before getting into the university. We studied together and hoped for the result we expected. On the day of the admission result announcement, I waited in anticipation in front of a computer with Y. I remember the website went down, and some of our friends headed to the facility to check the list. With that thought, we got up simultaneously and took a taxi cab there. We literally jumped for joy without feeling embarrassed when we found our names. Our ranks were close as well. I got fourth place and him the fifth. We study in the same faculty and sections and we're best friends. We see each other every day, practically each other's shadow. Maybe it's that we've been through a lot together that makes us worried about one another more than normal friends. He's a good friend of mine, and I also want to be a good friend of his. It's been a while since we ate at the main cafeteria. I can't choose what to have. I laugh as White turns his head back and forth, scanning the long row of food counters happily. Usually, as architecture students, if we don't go straight back home or work on our projects right after classes, we will stay in the building and wait for the individual assessment. It's rare for us to visit the main cafeteria like this. It's the largest cafeteria closest to the library, where students from all faculties hang out, unlike the faculty cafeteria full of familiar faces. Even though there are a variety of food to choose from and a bunch of pretty girls, real eye candy, it's hard to find an empty table. And the counters that sell super delicious food have such long lines. We don't have the heart to wait for it. You go take a look around. I'll be at the table. Huh? You go first. I'll wait here, he says, seated himself beside me. No, it's hot. I don't want to have a meal. I want ice cream. Again, with your love for ice cream. You don't eat real food and keep stuffing yourself with frozen sugar. Shut up. All right, I'll be right back. I nod and wave him off before stretching my neck in exhaustion and burying my face in my arms. I almost fall asleep when a cool and wet thing touching my cheeks startles me out of my sleep. Hey! When my eyes can focus, they land on a white bowl of white green ice cream. I glance at the culprit who woke me up so childishly and glare. What the hell was that? It's dirty. You're telling me off even though I bought it for you? It's the toothpaste flavor ice cream you love. It's mint. Toothpaste wouldn't taste this good. Well, thanks. Have a proper meal later. If I'm hungry, yes. Get the FBS test since you eat it a lot. You might have diabetes at this rate. I ignore why and open the lid of my favorite ice cream bowl. Happy. The smooth mint green ice cream is revealed once the paper lid is off, and I feed myself a big spoonful. This flavor suits the weather in our country, though most people around me scrunch their noses every time I chow down ice cream or milk with mint flavor. They keep comparing it to toothpaste. The refreshing and sweet taste clears my head, making me forget the messy things in my life for quite a bit. This is why I'm addicted to ice cream. If I'm frustrated, a bowl of ice cream calms me down. Is it that good? It's my favorite. Want another bowl? I'll buy more if it's not enough. I respond to his sarcastic words and eye his noodles. He's finished it in a blink of an eye. Did you eat or suck it? Did your gullet notice there was food coming down? It's my favorite. I roll my eyes and have another spoonful. The guy next to me moves closer. Give me a bite. What the hell? You hate it, don't you? Let me try again. When you eat it, I always feel like it must taste fucking delicious. It tastes the same no matter how many times you try it. You'll wrinkle your nose on me again. Come on, give me a bite. I hold the bowl out to Y, but he just opens his mouth. I sigh and shake my head, still feeding him quickly. Mmm, he moans. Exactly the same. On that note, keep it in mind and never ask for some again. Then don't make a face like it's so yummy and make me want to have some. You deceived me. What, you punk? Am I wrong for loving the taste? Bam! I almost jumped the moment a half full glass bottle of water was slammed on the table, spilling the water inside. Everyone looks at our direction in shock, including Y and me. I glance up at the rude person who pulled the action and see Pat hovering over us. He's staring at me, his brow knitted. What the hell is he trying to do now? Why pick a fight at this moment? We're in the middle of the main cafeteria with tons of people from various faculties around us. What do you want? I frown, staring back, my voice even. People seated next to us have gotten up and fled. Nothing. His voice goes high in the most annoying way. Catching Y shifting, I grasp his arm, and it infuriates Pat even more than that he kicks the chair. Bam! What the fuck is wrong with you? Go amok somewhere else. This is a common area, not anyone's territory. Do not start this. Y fumes. It seems to worsen the situation. Y, relax, let's go. Look at him! With so many empty tables right now, he wouldn't go and sit there. Instead, he's trying to pick a fight. Can you see you're soaked in spilled water? Y snarls, irritated, keeping his eyes on the enemy. He then picks up my shirt. Thud! What the fuck? Why? That wild dog suddenly shoved Y. Y lost it, shouting, and went in for a fight. So I called my friend's name and gripped his arm. We're at the cafeteria. Professors might see us. Y snorts in exasperation, swears in his throat, and leaves. I look at Pat in disdain and follow my best friend, who's making his way out of the cafeteria entrance. Why? I shout, calling the upset guy stomping ahead. Finally, I've caught up. Calm down. I couldn't be any calmer. That fucker asked for trouble. Was he the one making your stomach bruise last time? Don't fall into his trap. He's like that. I fucking hate his face. I lick my lips. They're so dry that it starts to hurt. Y is still grunting. I distract him by dragging him to the library. Once we're in a quiet and air-conditioned room and focus on our projects, Y seemed to really calm down despite his sulky face. Still better than looking agitated as if possessed like before. We've spent almost 4 hours staring at our house plans. We scribbled and drew on them for a while before searching for reference books on the shelves. Then we returned with a pile of thick books. We skimmed the pages and sketched on pieces of paper. With new ideas popping up, we worked on those. And when we ran out of ideas, we went straight back to the shelves. It continued until our brains could no longer take it. We are now leaning against the backrest, spacing out. Fuck, my head hurts. Y starts. I turn and see him grabbing his head. Same here. The plan is still a mess. I can't even call it a plan. It's still circles and circles. But Golf said Champagne is doing a group assessment today, didn't he? Why are you still here fixing it? Right, what can I do? It's still not done. Y replies, heaving a sigh, and places his face on the table. Fuck it. Champagne takes forever to assess each work. Some of them probably won't get their projects checked up. Should we leave then? I don't think I'll go there. It's already past 4. Yeah, let's leave. We pack our stuff in our backpacks, clasp the rolls of paper in one arm, and get out of the library. I wish to go straight back home, but as I take a shortcut through the garden in the back, I hear shouts from behind the engineering building and frown. Before I can decide whether to check it or not, the sight of my junior running all beaten up halts me. Hey, what's happening? Y asks as the kid approaches us. Why, Pran, my friends are getting beaten over there. I'm looking for help. Please help them. I exhale in frustration. Why are they so keen on causing trouble? All right, I'll be there. I toss my backpack and the rolls of paper on a nearby wooden table and asks another question. What the fuck is it about this time? It's a long story. It pains me to hear the junior's voice get softer. It must be our fault, not wasting another word. Y and I take off towards the fight. We both stop short, spotting the same mad dog from the cafeteria before standing over another kid from our faculty. Pat snatches his collar and raises his fist, ready to strike again. Judging from the bruises on the kid's face, I can tell he got several punches already. With pent-up anger done before, Y uses this chance to charge towards Pat. I'm about to stop him but get interrupted by the attack from my right. I have no choice but to turn my attention to my current opponent. I pant, exhausted, losing quite an energy, dealing with the guy who's now collapsed. I turn around and my eyes widen at the sight of Pat slamming his fist and Wise face on the ground. I pull myself together and rush in to grab Pat's shoulder. He's either too enraged or doesn't know that it's me, since he throws a punch in my cheek in an instant. The metallic taste of blood spreads in my mouth. I spit and get back up, ignoring the hands trying to support me. As I look up and meet his gaze, Pat seems to have come to his senses. His expression is undeniably worried, but I pay no mind. Taking in Y state, I grit my teeth. I shove Pat's chest and help Y get up. He is barely conscious. We regularly fight, indeed, but Pat has never been this serious. Y is almost knocked out. Pran. Pat whispers my name, and I pretend not to hear it. I support my best friend and get him out of here, with another junior running in to assist. I bring Y to his place and treat his wounds. Once he's eaten and taken medicine, and I've made sure there's nothing other than cracked lips and bruised cheeks, I could finally go home. I'm still frustrated, but I'm not sure what the cause of this frustration is exactly. One thing for sure, I was absolutely taken aback by Pat losing his head today. Getting hit in the cheek by that hard fist, I was pretty shocked. It could be that we've never gone all out to the point we get severely injured. We got a bruise or two, yes, but it had never been so violent like today. Knock knock. The two soft knocks on the door drew my attention. It's not a clocking sound this time. This is actually a hand hitting a door. I take a deep breath, trying to keep my emotions in check, and rising to open the door. As I thought, Pat is standing behind the door with a deadpan face. I hold his gaze and ask in a level voice, "What do you want?" Pran. He mumbles my name, reaching out to touch my bruised cheek, but I turn away. I'm sorry. Are you here to pick up the bunny? Can I come in? If you ask me, no. Bran. Wait here. I'll go and get your stuff. I step back and walk to the couch where the bunny is. Before I can get far, the door is closed and the other guy tugs my arm. I yank it back immediately. When our eyes meet, Pat pulls a face, displeased with my reaction. Why do you have to be so upset? Are you mad because I hit that prick? Don't act like you don't know what you did, Pat. What the fuck did I do wrong? Your juniors fucked up this time. They tried to get my junior's girlfriend drunk so they could do things to her. So what? What did Y do to get beaten up like that? He backed up those fuckers and I fought back. What did I do wrong? Then why didn't you strike me like that? Why didn't you punch me out of my consciousness? Bran, get your stuff and leave. Are you kicking me out? Yes, I am. We're enemies. Why do you want to stay with an enemy like me? Bran, I told you to get your stuff and leave. I stay still, averting my gaze. Although the place where my eyes land on is nothing interesting, I force myself not to look at him, not to feel anything with those stout-hearted eyes, and not to react when the door is opened and shut quietly. End of scene 7.